SJF, shortest job first algorithm. So A, he is just a salesman. So he would like to visit Vijayawada, Hyderabad, Delhi, and then Chennai. Okay, you can take Gurgaon also. Okay, so he is just like a representative. He would like to visit for these 5 cities. So which is the first city that he will choose? Whether he'll go for Chennai, or he'll go for Delhi, or he will go for Hyderabad, or he will go for Vijayawada, or he will go for Gurgaon. Gurgaon is nothing but Noida. So this will be available in Tamil Nadu. This will be in Delhi, is a separate capital, and Hyderabad in Telangana. This is in Andhra Pradesh, and Gurgaon is in UP. So which is the best path to visit all the stations? And the primary criteria is he don't want to go any one place, or he don't want to visit any one place twice. So usually, which is the first place he has to visit? Delhi. This will be the first place, because which is the longest path. While he is returning from Delhi, he has to reach Gurgaon, because the distance between Gurgaon and Delhi is much lower. So once Delhi completed, then Noida will be the second place. Once Noida completed, from Noida to, he will go for Hyderabad, because the distance between Noida to Vijayawada, Noida to Hyderabad, or Noida to Chennai, and Noida to Hyderabad is the shortest one. Once his visit in Hyderabad will completed, then he'll come to Chennai. So this will be 4th position. And after completion of Chennai, he will reach Vijayawada, and this will be the last place. Means where he has to stop will be the last option for him, and where he has to start, which is the longest distance, will become the first option. That's what it is. The name itself, it is indicating shortest job first. So while he is returning from Delhi, which is shortest? Gurgaon. So he has chosen Gurgaon as the second place. While he is returning from Gurgaon, Hyderabad is the shortest one while comparing with the rest of 3 positions. That's why Hyderabad will be the 3rd position. So once he is returning from Vijayawada, he can go to Vijayawada also, because the distance between Vijayawada and Hyderabad also very less. But still, once he has to settle down over here itself, means he will visit Chennai as the 4th place. Once it is finished, he will go to Vijayawada and stop his work. From there itself, he can finish his job. Same as here also, we need to check. So here I have one process, that is P1, and 2, second process P2, and third one is P3, and fourth one is P4. I have 4 number of processes. So duration is nothing but P1 needs 6 seconds of time to complete of its own operation. Same as P2 needs 8 seconds, and P3 needs 7 seconds, and P4 needs 3 seconds. So we still don't know where they have to start and where they have to stop. There is no such priorities are available with this, and you need to create your own waiting times, and you need to create your own execution times. These are only turnaround times only. So first, while we are comparing with these 4 times, I would like to check which is the shortest time. So I have 6, I have 8, I have 7. The shortest one is 3. So for that, which is having by 3? P4. So I have taken first one as my P4 because it is having only 0 to, it will start by 0 and it will close by 3. Right? Okay. Next one is 6, 8, 7. Which is the shortest one? Next one is 6. And the corresponding process is P1. So I'll start over here itself. P1. How much time it will take? 6 seconds. So 3 plus 6, 9 seconds. So at the time of 9 it is going to be stopped. And which is the next one? 7 and 8. 7 is the lowest one. So the corresponding process is P3. So next one is P3. How much time it will take? 7 seconds. 9 plus 7, 16 seconds. And obviously the last one will be the P2. P2, how much time it will take? 8 seconds. 16 plus 8, 24 seconds. Right? Now you will get average waiting times and you can calculate average turnaround times. Obviously you will get average execution times. That's what exactly this one is. So first one, P4 he has taken. What we have taken? P4 only. So how much time? Starting with 0 and ending with 3 seconds. Starting with 0 and ending with 3 seconds. And next one is P1 having a duration of 6 seconds. P1 having a duration of 6. 6 plus 3, 9. So it is going to be closed at 9 seconds. And the next one is, shortest one is P3 having 7 seconds duration. So P3, 7 plus 9. So that will be 16. And the last one is P2 with a duration of 8 seconds. So 8 plus 16, 24, and P2 is there. So for this, you need to calculate same as turnaround time, execution time, and waiting time. So I'll just take in one more example. Actually, this will be your resultant. So 0, 5, 12, 22, 2, 3, 1. 0, 5, 12, 22, 2, 3, 1. So let's have a look with this process. So initially it will be like P1, P2 and P3. It has to start by 0, it has to end by 10 seconds, and P2 will close at 15 seconds and P3 will be at 22 seconds. Now just calculate the average times. 10 minus 0. For P1 how much it is? 10 minus 0 equals to 10 seconds. And for P2, how much it is? 15 minus 10. How much? This will be 5. And next P3, what is the starting time? Starting time is 15 and executing time is 22. So 22 minus 15, this will be 7 seconds. Right? So based on, as we already know, we have to calculate this one with shortest job first. So among on 10, 5, 7, which is the shortest one? 5 is the shortest one. The corresponding process is P2. So initially I have taken P2. It has to start from 0, and how much time it is there P2? For 5 seconds. So 0 plus 5, 5. Here it is going to be closed. And next one is, we have two values, 10 and 7. Which is shortest one? 7. So the corresponding process is P3. So after completion of P2, P3 will come. And how much time it will take? 7 seconds. So already completed 5 seconds of time. 5 plus 7, 12 seconds. Right? Once it is completed, there is no other processors are available except P1. So P1, and how much time it will take? 10 seconds. You already have 12. 12 plus 10, 22 seconds. Now you need to calculate the values of same average waiting time, average executing time, and average turnaround time. Let's start with the average waiting time. So how much time has to wait for P1? P1 has to wait for 12 seconds. Okay, what is P2? Where it is P2? P2 in 0 seconds, so it is 0. And the last one, P3 has to wait 5 seconds. Then the waiting time will becomes 0 plus 12 plus 5. This is 17 seconds. But you need to find average waiting time. So how many processes that you are using? 1, 2, 3. So denominator is 3. 17 by 3 means it is around 15.66. Whether it may be a millisecond, or it may be nanoseconds, or it may be seconds. That will be depends upon the parameter how much that we are taking as a consideration. And next one is average execution time. So I used to represent as average execution time, AET, right? So first one I have P1. How much time, at what time it is going to be executed? Where is P1? P2, P3, P1. P1 execution time is 20 second. So 20 second. What about P2? P2 will be executed at 5. So this will be 5. And what about P3? P3 will be executed at 12. So this will be 12. So whenever you need to calculate 12 plus 5 plus 22, this will be 39. Right? 34 plus 5, 39. So obviously you have 1, 2, 3 processes because you need to calculate average time. So this will be by 3. So my answer is 13. Same as milliseconds, seconds or nanoseconds. And now I need to calculate turnaround time, TAT. Average turnaround time. Right? First, P1, how much time it will take to execute. So P1, where is P1? P1 over here itself. So it is going to be finished at 20 second and started at 12 seconds. So this will be ending minus starting, that will be 10 seconds. Same as P2, P2 is for itself. So ending with 5 and starting with 0. So it will take 5 seconds. And the last one, P3, where it is going to be ending? 12 seconds. And what is the starting? 5 seconds. So 12 minus 5, this will be 7 seconds. So I need to calculate 10 plus 5 plus 7, that will be 22. As I need to calculate average equals to 7.33. Measure will be as usual differs. Right? So first you need to consider one example. So P1, P2, P3. The average duration of execution of each and individual processes. How much time it will take. So how much time this will take, and the last process, how much time this will take. There is no specific criteria is available. You have to take only 3 processes, or no, you have to take 4 processes or 5 processes. Depends upon your availability. You can take more than 3 or 3 also. And there is no specific durations. So it should be 10 and it should be 5 or it should be 7. No, there is no specific durations are available. That will be depends upon the length of a task, how much time it will take to execute. You can take it as 3 seconds, then 0 plus 3. So where somewhere around 3 it has to close. Right? So this is what shortest job first scheduling, and this is also known as shortest job next. Why? Because I'm already told you now, first one is 5, next one is 7, next one is 10. First one is 5, remaining 2, which is the shortest one, 7, remaining 1 only. So then you will go for 10. So initially it has taken shortest job first, at the same time it is taking the next one also shortest job next. That is the reason why we used to call off also this one shortest job next. So this is also can be used as either primitive or non-primitive algorithms, and best advantage over here is there is no waiting time, or you can say minimum waiting time. There is no waiting time is going to be exceeded. So obviously once waiting time is reducing means delay is going to be reducing drastically. right? The only thing that it has to know is here how many processors that you are using. 1, 2, 3. Means you already mentioned P1, P2 and P3. Or else if you want, you can mention P4, you can mention P5 also. It needs only this one. How many processors are available to execute in this entire process of finishing task. If it knows about of that particular number of processors, then obviously it will check which is the shortest one.